Good evening, everybody. I am so excited. I have an amazing guest, absolutely one of my favorite boxers of all time, Christy Salters Martin. How are you doing this evening, Christy?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm hanging in there. God bless me. I woke up this morning and live to fight another day, right?
Absolutely. And so we were just talking earlier, we're both in hotel rooms. So our internet is kind of crazy. So everybody's got to bear with us. But before I begin, I know I've told you this before, but I absolutely love who you are. You are a role model, even though we're the same age. You were my role model, my strength coming up. We went through some of the same things in life. And I just absolutely think you're amazing. So I just want to put that out there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I think that's really part of it. I don't think that as we live life and we move from, point A to point B, we don't know how many people that we affect or we touch, whether that be negatively or positively. So I think it's made me try a little harder to live a little more on the right side, I guess we could say, and fight a little harder, just because I guess I have been blessed with having a little bit of the spotlight and stuff. So maybe more eyes are on me than maybe my neighbor. But I just want to be strong. I want to be strong for me, but I want to exude that strength so everybody around me can just become a little stronger.
We feel it, and you absolutely are. And I think in today's world, we need that. There's little girls everywhere watching the things that you do and other women do that are in the spotlight. I know that when I was growing up, I was in love with boxing at the age of 6, but there wasn't anybody to really for me to look at that time.
Right, right, right.
And my parents were like, absolutely not. You're a ballerina,
Yeah.
you're a gymnast. So we're just so thankful. I'm so thankful that there are women like you and other women that are coming up, or little girls that are watching TV. They can look at you and say, I want to be like her when I grow up. If she can do it, I can do it. So I totally, totally applaud that.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think that the journey that I had is great for little girls to look up and say, wow, look at what she did. And it doesn't have to mean that I want to be a boxer, but if she was able to break down those walls and become a boxer, then if I want to be the president, that's the wall I can break down. That's, that glass ceiling I can break. So I hope it opens up minds to I can be anything and any that I want to be. Anything and everything that I dream I can achieve. I I know we so much say little girls, but I really think it crosses over and
It
just
does.
everybody and anybody
Yes,
that, hey, you know what? If she can do that, whether you're male or female, if she can do that,
absolutely.
well, hell, for sure I can. So,
Yes.
I hope that, I hope my struggles help somebody else have a little more strength and a little less struggle.
Absolutely. I know personally they've helped me and they've helped others that I know and that I've talked to. So just keep doing what you're doing. And you haven't sit still. So I want to talk about your Christie's Champs nonprofit.
Sure.
That really touched me. I'm in my first marriage was very horrible. And it seems as though sometimes we take on a role that we shouldn't, where we're ashamed or embarrassed, and we feel like we can't reach out to anyone because of the shame. And so I think that your nonprofit is spot on. We absolutely need it. So tell us about it.
Well, Chrissy's Champs is all about increasing the awareness of domestic violence because so many people that are blessed that they don't have that going on in their house, or they maybe don't think they know anyone that is in a domestic violence situation. But that's the key. They don't think they know anyone. Everyone knows someone that is in a domestic violence situation, whether they realize they do or not. And that's what I want to do. I want people to be aware of it's the little things, like you go out to dinner with some friends and the male or the female of the
Yeah.
couple continually, jokingly puts the other one down.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe that's you. At first, you think that's just a little banter, or that's the way they're just playfully showing their love. But after a while, that's a beat down. And if it happens time and time again, and if it continues to happen in front of other people, you just start to shrink into the little shell and just at first I fought back.
Yeah.
And then as you have to pick and choose your battles.
Absolutely.
And there were some fights that just weren't worth fighting, even though they were credible. I should have fought for it, but I have to pick and choose. Is that really worth fighting over? That put down? No, I'll take that one and let me wait for the bigger one. And so you just get used to being put down. It's like that whipped pup, you just keep
Absolutely.
be that dog, and the next thing you know, you've taken all the fight out of it. And that's what happened in my situation. I think that happens time and time, and people don't realize it's happening to them. And control is such a form of domestic violence that control, stalking, just someone that every time you look over your shoulder. In my situation, whether it be I went to get my hair cut and he would show up. I went to get my nails done, he would show up. I would go to Walmart and he would show up. I mean, that's stalking. It's stalking. And again, at first you think it's just, oh, it's lovingly and he just wants to be around. No, that's not what it is. It's not right. You have to have room to breathe. All of us have to have room to breathe.
Absolutely. It's not normal. I mean, we all have a right to be happy and to feel secure and to feel good about ourselves, and we should lift each other up. And I just encourage anybody that knows anybody or that's going through something where it just starts with, like you said, the little jokes, the little put downs, and then it escalates, to go to your page, Christy's Champs. You have a phone number there, and I'm definitely going to post it afterwards, or to anybody that's in your city or state, because we need to be protected. We need to be uplifted, and nobody should be in a situation that they're not comfortable with, most definitely. So I applaud you for that. And also donate. There's a place where they can donate on your page, on your Facebook page, and I just encourage everybody to do that as well.
And what we're doing with those donations, just so people know, we're taking, because it's all about breaking the cycle, right? Little boys or girls, either one, grow up in a house where they see their mother or father getting put down or getting hit, or it could be physical, it could be mental, it could be emotional. They see that, they think it's normal. They think that's what's happening in every house. So they don't know that that's not the way that they're supposed to act. They go to a relationship acting the same way. We have to break that cycle. So one of the things we're doing, we're putting computers in boxing gyms, in local boxing gyms, because my love is boxing.
Yes.
But my passion is domestic violence, and I have to help people become more aware. And so if I could marry the two, it's like that's when I'm the happiest. So we're putting these computers into gyms. We are bringing mentors in, we're bringing tutors in, and we're really going to work on trying to break the cycle and just have different experiences. In Vero Beach, we're starting the program there. We are going to have the kids go to an auto mechanic class, or maybe not really a class, really just to an auto mechanic state place, and they're going to be taught to change tires, check the oil. These are common things that we used to learn, but kids these days don't.
No,
but those just little things like that. An art gallery. We have an art gallery on board in Vero Beach. Cooking. We're just different life, just different life experiences that we need these kids to have. I know when I took my amateur team I was in Apopka, Florida, and took my amateur team sometimes we would go to Denny's after a tournament or before. And, I gave all the kids money so they could tip. And I explained to them how to tip and why you tip. And some of those kids had never even been to a Denny's. So we take those things for granted. These are, I hope, they grew and went through life and going through life, that they remember, oh yeah, I'm supposed to tip this person for the service. And those little life lessons that sometimes we don't get taught.
It's so true. That's beautiful. And, I have a gym as well. And we try to do that. It's like, you may not be a world champion, but you want to be a champion in life, so we have to teach them those little things, those little manners, the tipping, changing oil, a tire. I didn't learn that growing up. And it's so important. You never know when you're going to be on the side of the road by yourself,
Right.
So I love that you're doing that. I have a few comments. And so Kelly Pavlik says hello, and so does James Dominguez.
Hey guys.
Kano Local Sports says salute. Esmeralda, she is a great photographer for boxing. She does a great job. She used to box too. She was an amateur, and she says that everything you've done has helped her so much. Clarence McLean says you are the pound for pound best women's champion. I agree.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. And Kashel Alexander says hello. Um, so you have a lot of fans that are, you're fine. You have a lot of fans that are chiming in and wanting to see you. And so now I want to talk about, you have some boxing shows coming up, and I had the honor of interviewing two of the, I say kids, I mean everybody's a kid to me,
Yeah, I'm with you.
under 40, you know.
They're kids. Yeah.
Keon Papillon, he's going to be on your show next month, I believe in February, and then Mia Killer B Ellis, that's going to be on your card this weekend,
Saturday.
So tell us about these cards.
Okay, well, so a little bit of what's going on is I'm actually right now in South Florida, helping my former promoter Don King with his show for Friday night. So it's really, I guess, full circle, right?
Full circle, yes.
To be back with Don King Productions and be on this side of the fence. Even though as the day has gone along, I'm like, oh my God, I would rather be the fighter. It's so much easier and it's so much more fun. I mean, and plus you get a paycheck at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So that's all good. But so King has the fight on Friday night here in South Florida, and then I'll jump on a plane first thing Saturday morning and head to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where Christy Martin Promotions has a show at the Crown Reef in Myrtle Beach. We have 12 fights and 12 good fights. I just signed this kid, Victorino Gonzalez, that I'm excited about up in he's from there, hometown Myrtle Beach. And he's one of those kids that like really good puncher, really good boxer, young kid as far as pro fights, but he's ready to get on the gas. He's not like, you kind of have to hold him back. Exactly. Most of these guys, you push him, you have to push him, but you have to hold this guy back. So I'm excited about getting on board with him getting on board with us. The card's stacked. That card's stacked. And then we have February 12th, we're coming to Orlando, Florida. And that's a little bit of a homecoming because I lived outside of Orlando for like 20 years. And I get to see a lot of old friends and to interact and deal with a lot of people that I had back in the day. And one of the big fighters, two of the most popular fighters on that show are actually managed and trained by Ramel Renee. And he had Tank, Lubin.
Oh, Lubin, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Erickson Lubin.
Yep.
So, former champion. So those guys are good. They're huge, big stars in their community already at just one pro fight. So I'm excited about seeing them. We have Keon on there.
Yep.
We have Vic's coming back to fight again. And then another young kid that I just signed, Jonathan Pierre, will be coming on. JP's he's a great man. And really, he's a really good boxer, really good, but he's a better person, I think. And that was really my draw to him. But we're going to be on the ride with him for hopefully a long time.
That is so super exciting. It really, really is. I just think it's so amazing, the transition, from boxer to promoter, because everything that you had to go through, the things that you liked and didn't like. So, I mean, I just think that that's like perfect. Absolutely perfect.
And I try to think of those things like, I don't want to leave fighters standing on the curb at the airport because I remember, how pissed I would be and how disrespected I felt. Like there's not even a car here to pick me up, or I don't even know who I'm supposed to call. So, and sometimes, like anything in life, you mess up, you make a mistake, you forget something. For whatever reason, somebody doesn't get there to pick the fighter up. But I try hard. I try to make sure that the fighters are all treated with great respect and taken good care of at all my promotions.
Well, the promoters can take a lesson from you. I think that's great. It still happens, everything that you're talking about. and they can definitely take a lesson. You know, I was watching some of your old fights because I love to go back and, you know, see the old fights. And Miguel Diaz and Kenny Bayless, they have been around forever and look exactly the same. I'm like, where is that fountain of youth? I need to go get a glass of water from that.
Right, right, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that like, yeah, you run into certain people and you're like, wow, it's 25 years later and they're just the same person
Look the
that you saw
same.
25 years ago.
It
Yeah.
was so cute because the last time I ran into Miguel, he had LASIK, so he didn't have his glasses. I was like, "Oh, look at you! You don't have your glasses on anymore."
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it was so cute.
No.
I love him.
Miguel is me poppy, I love him and
Yes.
he's taking so much he's taking great care of me even after he was actually the first call I made from the hospital after I had been shot and stabbed.
Yeah.
I called the first call was to Miguel, and that call was to ask him would he train me,
Yeah.
and he said yes, and so I was very excited. I was always close to him, but after that, there's a different bond. There's a different bond for us.
Absolutely.
I actually got to spend Father's Day with him one year
Oh.
since the shooting and everything, and I said to his daughter, I was like, Patricia, has anybody else, any other fighters ever been here to spend Father's Day with you guys? And she's like, no, Chrissy, you're different. You're different.
Oh.
And so your family, and I'll actually be with him on his birthday, February 21st. I'll be out in Vegas. So timing
That's
was perfect.
beautiful.
It's his birthday, so I get to see him.
That's absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you, something that really touched me before we wrap it up is at the time that all this stuff happened, you being stabbed and shot, and you called out to God, you know, and you said, you know, don't let me die.
Yep.
And that is such a testimony because if we all think about it, in our darkest moments, when we've called out to God, He has always been there.
Yeah.
You know, He wants us to live, He wants us to be happy.
Yeah, there was no question. I clearly knew I was dying. I could hear my lung had been punctured, and I could hear the gurgling sound. So I knew that at some point you stop breathing. So I just said, and it was like I could see it right now. I'm looking through this vent in my ceiling, and it was like I was looking at God's eyes through that vent, and I just please don't let me die and give me some sign to get out of here. And it was like, as soon as I said that prayer to him, I heard the shower water turn on. And when I heard the shower water turn on, I knew that Jim was in the shower. And it was like it was my clue. That was my time. God sent me the signal. I asked him for help and he sent it to me. And that was going to be it. I was going to get out or I was going to die.
Well, I'm so glad because He had great plans for you to touch other people's lives and for you to have some semblance of happiness and joy and peace. And I'm so glad that it seems as though you have that. And it looks like, whenever we help others, we get that. I'm getting emotional. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
such a testimony.
What you put into the universe, you get out, you get back, right? And if
Absolutely.
you put good out there, you get good back. And that's what excuse me, I keep trying to remind myself, just make sure you're doing the right thing and keep putting good out. So hopefully,
Absolutely.
you get
No,
some good back.
no, it's so true. It's so good. It's so true. I mean, they people talk about karma or whatever you want to call it. You know, you do good, you get good. You know, and that's what we have to do. So before we end this, are there any last words, any shout outs? Where can people find you? Tell us everything.
Yeah. Wow. That all that social media stuff, and I really don't even like social media, but I'm on Facebook, Christy Salters Martin, Instagram. I think it's at WBC Champ Christy. I'm not even sure what it is. Twitter. I'm on all those things. Just maybe you have to look a little harder than you want
I'll
to.
post it too. I'll post it too on the interview.
Cool. Thank you so
Post
much.
it all. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotcha. Definitely.
Cool.
Clarence McLean says, "We love you, Christy."
Thank
Absolutely,
you.
we do. Absolutely. And I
Thank
just
you.
have to say, so one of my fellow USA coaches here, Tin Back, he said, you have to absolutely tell her that I love her and one day I want to meet her. So Tim, I did it. I hope you're happy.
Cool. That's, I need to come up there and hang out with you guys sometime.
You have to. I would love for this COVID stuff to be over, and I would love for you to be able to come and talk to these athletes because they would absolutely love it, and we would too.
For sure.
So we'll
But
keep it.
as soon as this happens, as soon as we're free to do that, let's get that on the schedule.
Absolutely, we're gonna do it. I
Cool.
appreciate your time so much, and guys, I'm sorry I was late today. It was totally my fault. Crazy schedule. But everybody have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. And Christy, I appreciate you so much. I'm going to be praying this weekend. Everything's a success. I know it will be.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.